The impact of economic policies on business. Economic policy is the term used to describe government actions that are intended to influence the economy of a city, state, or nation. Some examples of these actions include setting tax rates, setting interest rates, and government expenditures. Economic policies set by governments usually have broad effects on businesses. Depending on the size of the country, governments spend up to trillions of dollars in a single year. Economic policies that affect legislation also have a big impact on businesses. In this video, we are going to explore some economic policies and their impacts on businesses. Taxes. An increase in corporate income taxes has a direct effect on a business. A tax increase on business profits hurts a company's overall financial performance. Some corporations and small businesses argue that businesses should pay less in taxes, not more. The companies maintain that with a lower tax base they can boost the economy by investing more money in the business, resulting in more jobs. When business tax rates increase, some companies respond by raising prices on goods and services. Spending. More spending by the government may help certain businesses. For example, businesses such as construction companies and engineering firms benefit when a government spends billions taxpayer pounds on new roads, bridges and airports. Defense firms, specializing in military weapons systems, rely almost entirely on governments committed to a strong defense. That is why defense contractors spend considerable time and effort trying to affect economic policy decisions. More spending by government also helps certain businesses providing educational services. Choices. Usually, a government cannot increase spending in one area without taking away from something else. A government with an economic policy dictating more money spent on defense may have to reduce support for building more schools, for example. That could result in less work for construction firms, forcing companies in that industry to reduce staff or freeze open positions. Wages. A country's economic policy could also affect wages. Increases to national minimum wage benefit workers by allowing them to earn more money for the same work. That is usually good for the workers, but it can be challenging for businesses because it increases costs. Labor costs are usually a company's greatest expense. Some corporations argue that they cannot compete against companies located in countries offering a much lower minimum wage. That can result in a company transferring many job functions to foreign countries. Trade policy. Trade policy can affect a business by making it easier or more difficult to trade across international borders. Trade policy can include the imposition of import tariffs, quotas on imports and exports of certain goods, and subsidies for local producers to support them against international competition. Governments often enter into bilateral trade agreements with other countries, with the aim of reducing tariffs and barriers to business and establishing a free trade area or common market. However, this can be helpful to some businesses, but can also lead to increased competition from abroad. Interest rates. Government policy can influence interest rates, a rise in which increases the cost of borrowing in the business community. Higher rates also lead to decreased consumer spending, resulting to decrease on investment. Lower interest rates attract investment as businesses increase production. The government can influence interest rates in the short run by printing more money, which might eventually lead to inflation. Businesses do not thrive when there is a high level of inflation. Regulations and permits. Trade regulations, the federal national minimum wage, and the requirements for permits or licenses have effects on business. For example, periodic health inspections must be carried out in all restaurants. Businesses might spend a lot of money and time to comply with regulations that ultimately prove to be ineffective and unnecessary. Fair and effective regulations, however, promote business growth. Foreign direct investment, FDI. Foreign direct investment, or FDI, is a company's physical investment in another country, acquisition of a foreign firm or investment in a joint venture or strategic alliance with a foreign company in its local market. Investment of a foreign company in another country can provide new technologies, capital, products, organizational technologies, management skills and potential cooperation and business opportunities for local businesses. For example, Volkswagen, a European automotive manufacturing company, is building a plant in Tennessee. Its investment needs local small businesses as suppliers, from the construction sector during building, from suppliers of equipment and accessories in the automotive industry and from other businesses, such as cleaning services and plumbers. However, foreign products arriving to the country at lower prices can create competition and force local businesses to lower their prices and reorganize their operations in terms of costs. Local businesses may lose their customers or even their business relations with other companies as they start cooperating with the new foreign one. Exchange rate. The exchange rate will play an important role for firms who export goods and import raw materials. A devaluation will make exports cheaper and exporting firms will benefit. However, firms importing raw materials will face higher costs of imports. An appreciation makes exports more expensive and reduces the competitiveness of exporting firms. However, at least raw materials, e.g. oil, will be cheaper following an appreciation. For further support, at Talent and Skills Hub, you can be supported by our instructors, academic skills advisors and mentors for the impact of economic policies on business. You can book an appointment for one-to-one or group tutoring through our website, ts-hub.com.